Abusua amino kasa say de enya asem ketwa kra ed match say the New Patriotic Party amanyokui abusua de tin na say after say nsem ahodo hya ase etoto mu no John Mahama Ghana man pin hya ase say wo cheche say NPP for no meno kasa de tin na say ensem ahodo bi asanso aba betodwa abusua we de efa say Afenyo Markin ho a enchirimu ni nyina na say ne yese de say CID boss asanso ahye say enche nipa ye kwa akwache no ewo party nim Afenyo Markin ebusua edinti ana say Afenyo Markin the next target a say NDC for ekwa na no meno ka say no de tin nyina say Kelvin Taylor aba abontia aba bechichim ensem ahodo bi anoda aba betodwa afasa chia likely say next person beche no say Afenyo Markin ensem ni nyina ewa ase me videos ahodo eba besomo mesrew sa answer na be konsem so bu any day kwanza say when you subscribing from my YouTube channel now don't subscribe button so we are now the bell notification icon so to feel free na che wadwen ewe che say comment section wadarma the hands of man sem no ho ate area na bibia so atime ai kama wadarma no asan so like video no ade account yehwe enfam bresi
he knows everything, arrogant. Even in opposition he was still isolating seats. A very selfish leader. He believes to say there are some group of people in the party he has to align himself with. This is a guy who is the lawyer of Kennedy Japan and also a financier of Baumia. How can he lead the party? This guy cannot lead a political party to win power. Into 87, it is going to drop. Now, the honest truth is, Moko Akwetiano, a dear impact pa na Afenyo Markin as the leader of the minority made when he went there. What impact did he make? Kwasi ampenyi sa ko kotete dey obi party posters. He's not ripe to lead. He's a backbencher who has to be screaming and making noise. They be say, shut up. This guy cannot compose himself and lead. This is a guy who slapped a police officer in uniform. He actually punched a police officer in uniform. This guy is not law abiding. This guy has done everything. Which are what makes this guy a leader? A dear example now we Setiama Ghana. He slapped a policeman who's supposed to protect him as a lawmaker. This guy. We sit in that country and we allow fools to lead fools. And it's an MPP na say. As much as I don't like Oseche Mensa Bonsu, Nyansa Edasa Jimini Nitim, Aqua we been done it. As much as Oseche Mensa, I don't like him, or a tribal bigot, another very selfish individual. No, Nyansa done it idea politics, and Sajimi Jimmy Afenyo, a been done it. And Afenyo cannot maneuver his way. You think Afenyo Markin can convince anybody on the other side to do his bidding? The only thing he can do is to say, I'll give you money. And when that fails, that's all. When it fails, that's all. So why should a political party that is trying to find itself, that is trying to rebrand itself, that is trying to tell the people that we are not who we used to be, we are a different breed, our face needs to change, why should that political party still have such a careless, callous, arrogant individual leading them in parliament? The party is still the same. Nothing has changed about the NPP in parliament. The face of the party is terrible. Inti Nyansenibia or Ghana Biano will never sit and say, I want Afenyo Markin and give his colleagues power. No, nobody will do that. We're Jimmy Bruta, and these are people we're sitting in Ghana. Now, Obia Oya lawmaker, what's in sa Ediabo police in the He's a fool. He's a fool because what's in Sabo police in Yasum. Me yes, adiero. So Afenyo Markin is a fool who is not supposed to be in parliament. He can take me to any court. A fool like this stretched his hand to hit a law officer, a police officer in uniform. Obonasum. Kwasia we say, or to parliament, or yemra. A Kurobian called the jail. A Kurobia ye serious and Kwasia we called the jail. Yeni so some Kwasia Sam so the CID boss not to or sorry, why no nice girl and Kwasia Sam not so. This guy is supposed to be standing trial. And the last time I told you the CID boss, as much as I respect you, this fool needs to stand trial. Because if you fail to put this guy before court, then it defeats the purpose of the Ghana Police Service, say, an institution that is independent and an institution that we can respect, say, protect Ghana for. If the CID boss, you are not able to prosecute this guy, put him before court, then you sitting there, you don't need to sit there. You need to walk out and go sit home. Because the Embra is not supposed to be selective. The law is supposed to apply irrespective of which fool is standing before him or her. So the law is not selective. In Tikwasia, he actually slapped a police officer. So what are you doing? And this guy needs to face the law. We are not playing again. Oh. We are not fooling again. Oh. When adults fool, we will tell them in their face they are fooling. So CID boss, with all due respect, do not entertain this foolishness. I respect you a lot. I've given you that room. And you told us that investigations are ongoing. We want to know what has happened to that investigations. A lawmaker breaking the law. A lawmaker punching a police officer in the face. A lawmaker in parliament who is leading a group of lawmakers punches a police officer and nothing is happening. Under John Mahama, under Yohonu, under CID boss, what kind of country are we running? And then here to us, what is going on? If I get the opportunity to meet the president, I'll say, Mr. President, you cannot have a lawmaker punch a police officer and tell me you think about the police. Prove to me that you think about the police. The CID boss needs to take this over. He needs to be prosecuted. We need to get to the bottom of this. You cannot tell me you are fighting corruption. Mr. President, you cannot tell me you want to retool the police. You want to help the Ghana Police Service. You want to make the state agency strong. And then a lawmaker punches a police officer and we sit in Ghana and we are speaking grammar. This guy needs to face the law. Wow, leadership. Long time. Because Afenyo, so kind the terminal report and I said the track record and the politics more on the only majority leader or to me the party free opposition omuluzi seats from 137 to 87. Afenyo Markin, that is his political record. He cannot run away from it. He is the first majority leader or to be leading a whole majority side from 137 to 87. Now, more MPP must stand that way. In Ghana politics, no, it will always remember Afenyo Markin as the worst leader in parliament. Okay, the worst parliamentary leader on the side of the NPP. It is the NPP for Niminyansa. And Kasaji Mijiwe, Komo Yine Flip, a new data. They would have put a new face. Let me tell you, when the NDC wanted power, it was a very difficult pill to swallow. At a point, they had to do something. Not because Haruna Idrisu is not a good leader. Not because Muntaka is not good. Not because the NDC didn't know what they were doing. It was because they needed the NDC to have a new face in parliament. A new face that will symbolize something. A new face that will send a message to the people of Ghana. A new face that will show preparedness. It does not mean to say, time NDC for Haruna Idrisu, Haruna Idrisu is bad. Haruna Idrisu is corrupt. No, it is strategic. Sometimes, when a team is bad, you don't necessarily have to sit there and say, where they also bow. Strategically, you are like you're a good player, but sit on the bench. Afenyo Markin is a bad communicator. Afenyo Markin brought this party from 137 to 87. Madam Nefana PJ na the two of Fujineno. Ono ote parliament na nananom ena opre ejapadia mo. The leadership of the NPP, Sankomuni Munyansa, and the day they lost power. Because the honest truth is, NPP for AE or say Chemensa, Omo the Afenyo Markin, what was the reason? The reason was that Oseme Chemensa, he wasn't going to, he wasn't going to sustain the numbers. In Tomuka say, you're 137. We want to get more seats. In Tianya Day, Yen Chenji or say chairman Sanyamfa Wimra. It is a chairman or say chairman Sabons, most of our born with Jimmy. Namakofa Kwawaba say, you don't want the hung parliament. You want to add more numbers to your numbers in parliament. Now your re-election numbers about 87. Why are you still keeping this joker? Why are you still keeping this joker in parliament? Say he is your leader. He lacks no sense. He cannot communicate. He can't dialogue. He's full of himself, very selfish. An individual who does not take anybody's advice. He makes mistakes and sit in the mistakes, shit in the mistakes, sit in the mistakes, and still think he's intelligent. This is a guy who brings nothing to the table. I have 5 minutes to end tonight's show. The law is the law. Now, won to me, and so yes, masloko for akodifie, won to me, efa a year masloko for kamunu, masloko for akojomade. Me say, masloko for say, a year won to me, oka say nyina oko badi nyina sana wafa masloko for kamunu sinifie. Men oka say, won to me say we are masloko for kam and the masloko for someone saka card. It won to me dear. Bibia ko wu ebekra o sorry na o hye Vietnam for Lacoste bi ne nsa na beduru ha na ne kon ne deda ha se de bia onya ne ho Lacoste show de bia I say ono na osoa bidie de se bibia ko wu na bekra wu ntumi. Now another story ni Cecilia Dapa and the menoka say yes Cecilia Dapa Former Sanitation Minister Cecilia Dapa invited to CID headquarters to answer questions on oral. In TSC oral for Afre Cecilia Dapa so ombe answer questions be. Cecilia Dapa de baby Cecilia go be corruption go. Why did you say interplast? Where everywhere water go, interplast go. Cecilia Dapa on the corruption de be would de atrenchi. Cecilia Dapa Abronye besiaba. Oh sorry, I debi only corruption AD in tentenwa. Only corruption AD eye kwa debi. Only corruption AD eye mami odende. Anywhere corruption go, Cecilia Dapa go. Anywhere water go, interplast go. Cecilia Dapa ya safreno. Yesi ora force ombra. Questions bi ho be yano. Ghana any Accra aye fin na mami we. Ghana ne Accra aye fin and we are trying to make sure we clean Ghana no. Nana do danko kufuado aye ne fuse Anyanya nchire ebeka kire say he will make Accra the cleanest city in Africa. Ne fu se syndrome. Ebeka sankwa say no omutam sika no mudi ye Cecilia Dapa and your friend say omra na omba dwudwam na yehu eye the course into oral for atom nsa Afre Cecilia Dapa say omba dwudwam. Anywhere Cecilia Dapa go the corruption go. Everywhere water go interplast go. Cecilia Dapa no corruption mame. All right, now this is another story. When you chat for, I got 4 minutes near upon. Abozigia kasa. And Baumia say, Mahamudu one a ye atasa atasa ne Mahamudu when yom habutra Kennedy ne Mahamudu when yom habutra. Now last time Busa say Mahmoud Baumia, one and a permanent tadi man. Baumia, I tell an even a permanent tadi man. Because minim Andrew said, who saw Shata, they say, chef of what I do, say, minim, say, shat no a trecotesu, say, a for topu. I am one and a pamba umiantad, tell an even a pamba umiantadi man. One and a pam aquawe, one and a pamba umiantadi man. Because a dibio beshebe size boom on Shadia man and Dan Honda. Say the food and the iron throw, said dear you. Just say, Debia Buba, maybe I say, I saw a clerk. Debia Buna has a Pentecost clerk be, as I say, the one born clerk. Summary. Oh, sorry, I know upon 100 million at Tadiashe. A power slim, what power besu trum in Ghana, Echuanim, also no Wama Ukru, what dress a clerk, Pentecost for clerk in Ghana, Dinkas. 1 year Pama going Tadiaman, where a shirt and I say a long sleeve and I say a chef for Tadia. A year do go to get into Anna Mejana and I say, some